Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Monday, June 29th. One more day left of June, and then we are halfway through the nightmare. That is the year 2020. You'd like to think that maybe it can't get worse from here, but I'm not, I wouldn't bet that. I wouldn't bet that with all the things we got coming up later this year. Dare I project it may even get worse. Dare I project that? I'm sorry. That is my projection right now. And you know what the good news is I'm always wrong. So if I project that this is going to get worse, the COVID, everything's going to get worse. That's my projection. Fortunately, I'm always wrong. So maybe things will start getting better now, but I wouldn't count on it. This is take 2 of today's podcast. Take 1 was destroyed by Jorah, the cat, jumping on the table and throwing things around. I tried to muddle through with him here. It just couldn't be done, so I had to restart it. We've been super busy here over the weekend and the past week. We got a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I know Friday we had our happy hour with Ramon Bermo. I want to thank Ramon for coming and spending so much time with us, talking about the fundamentals of training. A lot of you guys had some really great questions about training for marathons and how to get faster and all that good stuff. And Ramon had a lot of good answers, imparted a lot of wisdom, talking about training with strength and power and endurance and all. I mean, it was great. It was very informative. We are going to have, if you missed the happy hour, we are going to have the tape of it, the video of it. It should be up later today. I just got to get on that. I've been working on it though, so it's almost ready. Almost ready. I did have it. I didn't not record it. I do have the recording, so it does exist, and we will be putting it out later today. I want to thank Ramon for coming out and spending some time with us. Stephanie Lueras, thank you as well. We did a podcast with Stephanie last week. That came out Saturday morning. Great podcast, great story. She was on our happy hour a few weeks before. And, really that was a lot of sort of advice and talking to people and motivating people, telling her story. This was more exclusively telling her story, through the podcast, which was really great. And, the thought of this, great athlete now going through the finish line each and every time and shedding a tear is something that I was just like, wow, that's really cool. That she's come so far that she gets moved every time she sees a finish line. And just to see how far she's come, it's amazing that what the sport does for people. And look, if you're out there and you're listening and you are still on the couch thinking about it, this is a great podcast, man. You gotta listen to Stephanie Lueras tell her story. Just walking to the end of the block and then maybe doing it a couple times, then a little bit more. Then, hey, maybe I can run. And hey, let's do a 5K. A couple marathons later, now she's signing up for 70.3s. We wish her the best of luck. And I hope that I wished that she gets one. She's registered for 2 70.3s in the fall. That's a little crazy. But anyway, she's registered for 2. I just hope she gets one that isn't canceled. And I want to see her finish and cross that finish line. And I'm rooting for her. I mean, listen to the podcast. You'll be rooting for it too. Really busy weekend. We did our coaching deal. The coaching deal is still live. It's through the end of June. So you have another couple days. If you're interested, reach out. This is your opportunity. Even if you don't want to start right away, or you want to start down the line and you're thinking about it, reach out to me, because maybe we can just put that on hold for a couple months and do that. I've done that with 1 or 2 people already. This past weekend, though, we had 4 consultation interviews. They take about an hour each, so I was pretty busy this weekend. And 3 people signed on. It's awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to work with you guys. I can't wait to kind of bring you closer, to help bring you closer to your goal. You got to work hard. Hiring a coach is only like a template. It's only like to help show you the way. You got to do the work. And I tell you, I spoke to some wonderful people over the weekend. It's very exciting what we have going on. Just to be part of someone else's pathway to success and achievement is it's something that I love, and it's something that's I don't know. It's just a great feeling. It's why I'm in the business. So I was really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, today we do have one piece of bad news. Due to an unfortunate goat accident, June Walker is on the shelf. She is taking a couple days of rest here. She hurt her back. She says it's just stiff. She doesn't feel like it's injured, but it actually was a goat accident. But hopefully she's waking up this morning. She's about 3 hours ahead of us, so she's probably up though. She works on the farm, but hoping that she wakes up this morning and feels a little bit better. She has a rest day today. I know she has an active recovery day today, but still, I think we talked already, and she's going to take a rest day. And then we'll see how she does. It's just one of those things. You don't mess around with the back. You just don't. You might want to go have it checked out. I mean, you the best, obviously. But the back is always sort of like if it gets worse, it can be really, really bad. So we kind of put her on a shelf for a few days until, hopefully she'll wake up one day and it'll feel better. If not, she's going to have to go see a doctor. But that's just, where she is right now. And we talked about this. We talked about training, and it's one thing to get injured while training. It's another thing to have a goat accident. What the hell happened with the goat? She said she was like on the porch and the goat came by and I don't know, and knocked her off and whatever. But it's, man, it's one thing to get hurt if you're doing a hill workout. It's another thing to get hurt from the goats. I don't even know what to say, June. I don't know. It's not funny. It's not funny, but it's still a goat. So it's kind of funny. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we're on hold with June. She's not going to come into the podcast today, but we're going to bring her back as soon as she's back on the program, hopefully soon. I'm kind of hoping that she just wakes up this morning. She wakes up this morning, she's like, oh, yeah, I feel good. Stretch it out. I'm good to go. And then we can start back up on the program without hardly missing a beat. We'll see. That's my wish. We'll see how it goes for her. I actually had a little bit of an issue today. It was actually yesterday. A little bit of an issue yesterday too. I haven't had an injury. Knock on wood. Haven't had an injury in a while. I've had, in the past, I think the last big injury I had was a stress fracture in my shin. I sat out for like 6-7 weeks and really restricted my running. I restricted almost all my exercise. I did a little elliptical. I did a little bike. And a little swimming, but all very cautiously, and it healed and it was fine. It did take away from my training at that point. So injuries just suck. They get in the way, and especially if you're kind of focused and you're doing really well with training, to have that kind of be taken away it's just annoying, frustrating. Yesterday, this story actually starts out a week ago. So last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday before that, my daughter graduated from 5th grade. She's moving on to middle school. And because of COVID, they're not having a graduation ceremony. Instead, they're doing drive-through graduation ceremony. Drive-through. It's like McDonald's version of graduation. But we played the part. We pitched in we did our thing. We took some window markers and we drew, congrats Sammy on the back of the car. And I did the side windows too. We wrote some messages to some of the teachers and stuff like that. And they did it okay. I got to be honest. I'm frustrated with the school year and how I feel like the kids should have been in school all along. I know you don't have to share my opinion, but that's fine. But they did a good job with the McDonald's graduation ceremony. We drove through. All the teachers were there. They were screaming, yelling, hollering. Everyone had signs. We were honking the horn, embarrassing my daughter. It was great. So after we drove through, I got home and I scrubbed. I got to tell you, these markers were way harder to get off than I thought they would be. So I did the side windows because I thought that was a little obnoxious. And I left the back window. It says, congrats, Sammy, and a couple other little things on the side. I left the back window because I just was too lazy to do it. So we got home yesterday. We were out shopping and it started pouring rain. And I thought, now here's an opportunity. This is laziness talking here. Now here's an opportunity to avoid work. I opened the garage door. I backed the car out into the pouring rain. The thinking being the pouring rain will wash off the marker on the back windshield. Brilliant. I thought. Long story short, it didn't actually. It didn't take it hardly at all. It did zero effect. I'm gonna have to. It's elbow grease all the way. But anyway, I had to get out of the car in the pouring rain, and it was hard rain. It was driving rain. It wasn't like misting rain. It was driving rain, which is why I thought even better, even better to get the marker off the windshield, but it didn't work. I stepped in some puddles, and I'm wearing kind of like casual sneakers that have no tread on the bottom, and I got them all wet. And as soon as my foot touched the slick garage floor, I went flying. And it was like, when you're a kid, you can kind of react to when you're falling. Maybe you could like do like a forward roll and kind of get back up, pop up, and be fine. Yeah, that didn't happen. It's like before I knew it, I was on the ground and I was taking inventory because things hurt, and I was like, my wrist hurt. I got a little I don't know if you guys see, like a little dot, I landed on a rock. I got, my knee was like scraped up a little bit. My foot hurt right away, and it was like one of those where I didn't want to look at it because it didn't feel broken or anything, but I was afraid I was gonna like look at my leg and my foot would be like flopping off the side. And my medical insurance sucks, so I really can't afford that. I would have to be walking around like a floppy foot for whatever. Anyway, so I'm taking inventory, and like things hurt, but there was nothing that felt structurally wrong. And then, a little blood here and there, but sometimes you bleed. You're like, yeah, that's cool. It's like, I'm alive. There is actual blood in this body, and it's moving around. Anyway, I woke up this morning, and my ankle's a little sore. It is a little sore, and it's one of those things where I kind of think it's more like a bruise than any kind of structural thing, but it's like something to keep an eye on, another thing to watch, another thing to be careful about, another thing to, hey, if you're out there running and you're on a bum ankle, and it starts to hurt a little bit worse than you expected, you got to just take it easy. It's always going to be better to baby the injury and just get back to 100% than to push it and risk hurting it even worse. So it's one of those things where I got to kind of just keep an eye on it. But I think I'm in the clear. Maybe I'll just schedule a few more bikes this week instead of runs. I don't know. I'm gonna have to adjust that a little bit, but we'll see after the first. I'm not running today. I'm gonna cycle today. I'll probably run tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and it'll be gone. I don't know. But we'll see how it is tomorrow. It's just annoying right now. It is just annoying. But my training is doing great, guys. The last 4 weeks I have been hitting it hard. I was good on the bike through May. Things were, going well with me on the bike. My weight was getting a little bit higher. I mean, I think everyone's kind of, doing all these consultations last week. A lot of a similar story. I don't think maybe one person said to me, "Oh yeah, I'm kind of maintaining weight, or I've lost weight through the COVID scare." And other than that, everyone was like, "Oh, I gained 5, I gained 10, people gain weight in the COVID, including me." But I was so focused on the cycling that I just let the running drop by the wayside, and now I'm forced to kind of build the running back. But I tell you, it's so far so good, and that trip has been very fulfilling so far. I started the running back with the Ordinary Marathon, and then even with the Ordinary Marathon, I didn't really focus on an intent plan to get better. And that's but it made me realize like you need a better plan. So I put one in place and I started working on it. And, I have my board here, and on June 7th, I did my first, what I considered a long run was 5 miles, because that was about as much as I could do. 5 miles. It took me 52 minutes and 9 seconds. That's a 10:25 pace, 10 minute and 25 second mile. Fast forward 4 weeks, and this past weekend, so I did 6 miles the next week, and I did 7 miles, building it up. And this was this week was a week where we were like, all right, we're not going to build, we're going to sort of retrace and recover. Right, recovery week. We're still working. We're trying to stay in that zone 2. We're trying to repair the muscles and get better. That's what happens in recovery week. So we took a step back, and we're doing another 5 mile run, same 5 miles on the same treadmill that I did on June 7th at 10:25 pace. I did it on Saturday night at a 9:55 pace. So now listen, I'm not sprinting these. I'm not racing these. I'm trying to run them and hold back. Truth be told, I am not good at holding back, especially at the latter parts of a long run. It's like I want to get it done. I want to, if I have some energy left, I feel like I want to exert it. it's like I feel like I'm leaving something on the table. So if I'm running 5 miles and I get to like mile 2 or 3 and I'm like, yeah, let's get this thing over with, I might jack up the speed and, do my best to keep up. I ran pretty hard. I wasn't an all out effort, but I ran pretty hard. It's just really nice to know that 4 weeks ago I did a 52:09 and that yesterday or Saturday I did 49:34. It's just, that's a result that you can look at and say, I'm proud of the work that I did from point A to point B. And not only that, but man, those 5 miles, that first time I did those 5 miles, they felt like, it was something that it was accomplishment. It was like, yeah, 5 miles. Whew, I can do 5 miles. It was like, but I could barely do 5 miles. Then I had to build to 6 and I had to build to 7. And then going back to that 5 miles the second time around, it didn't feel so bad. It didn't, you know what I mean? It's like the confidence was there that I knew I could do it. As opposed to, I got to run 5 miles. I hope I can make it. The confidence was there. Hey, I just ran 7 miles, so I know I can do 5. And it just, it helps you that much more. And I think even that confidence factor just helps you improve. It gives you that, you just know you can do it. So it gives you the permission to kind of raise the speed a little bit. Cause you could always pull back if it goes a little too hard. But, I'm really proud of that run and, I felt really good. My weekend training, I was supposed to do my run on Sunday. I've been doing my runs on Sundays and I've been doing a big bike on Saturday. And that's typically the way it's been fitting in. Now we woke up Saturday morning and granted we were up a little bit late with the happy hour. We talked to some people afterwards and we were having a little, so Saturday morning ride was not going to happen too early. My daughter got up. We wanted to take her to the park. We took her to the park. We came home. She went to take a nap. I think I had a consultation. That's what it was. I had a consultation there and the window never opened up where I was going to have 2+ hours to do a bike ride. But I knew that my Sunday run was supposed to be 5 miles. And in that case, I gave myself permission to switch them. And I don't know how many of you guys out there, you have to make sort of conscious decisions on your workouts and what they are and whether or not you can switch them. Whether or not you can move things around, where it makes sense. Do you have to actually adjust the workouts themselves? And in this case, I had a long bike and I had a long run. Yeah, I typically like to do the bike on Saturday, the run on Sunday. But in this case, it just made a lot of sense to switch them. I did switch them. And then I wound up doing an event on Sunday that was more of a race than what I wanted. I kind of wanted it to be more of a zone 2 ride. And I wound up exerting way too much effort and only doing an hour anyway. But it was a fun event that we did. But I did give myself permission to make that switch. The switch worked. It was fine. I got the things I needed to do. I got them done and I felt good about it. So I hope you guys are feeling good about it too. We talked a little bit about doing the podcast daily. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know that that's going to be a possibility. There might, I think right now my goal is to do 2 per week, with maybe 1 guest per week. That the guest is right now. I don't even know if I have any on the docket, but I have some people I'm thinking about bringing in. Our next happy hour, which will be in 2 weeks, we're going to bring Allison Knott back, and we're going to talk more about nutrition, which I think is always a great topic. Always a great topic. We got some things we're working on with Allison in conjunction with coaching, so keep an eye open for that. She's amazing source amazing resource for information when it comes to diet nutrition for me. So, I encourage you guys to reach out to her and check her out, check out her pages, check out what she does. And just be ready to be involved with our happy hour, not this Friday, but the following Friday. Take a look out for that. And remember, the Ramon thing will hit, the Ramon happy hour will hit YouTube sometime this afternoon. So look forward to that. We got our Thursday night ride. Our last Thursday night ride was great. This Thursday, we got something new coming for you. We're going to do some sort of movie trivia, but we're going to do it a different way. So basically what we're going to do, and this is Ron Booz's idea. What we're going to do is, we're going to name the actor's character names. So we're going to take an actor or actress, and I'll get 3 character names of characters that they have played in their career, and we're going to start with sort of like the more obscure one, and then I'll put the character name up there, and you basically have to name the actor or actress, and you'll get 3 character names until you can name it. Hopefully, it doesn't take that long, but It should be interesting. It should be fun. I kind of like doing these Thursday night rides where it's just, it adds like a fun factor to it. And just so you can, it's a nice middle of the week ride. If you're looking to just add some hours to your training, some zone 2 stuff, it works for you. If you can, you're going to be typing away, the answers to the questions, or you want to pay attention to the questions, you can it makes riding sort of in the back of your mind, and it's just a great thing. It's a great thing. So if you're on Zwift and you want to be part of it, let me know. We'll add you to the invite. I haven't done the invite yet, but we'll probably do it later today. That's all I got for you today. Have a good week, guys. Have a good week. Let's get rid of June. Let's wipe it out and head to the second half of 2020. I hope it's better than the first half. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.